Welcome to Wisdom Outlined Coaching. My name is Askar Khan, your math coach. In this video, we will try to understand the properties of lines and angles. Let's dive into the lesson. Let's understand how is an angle formed. We all know what is a ray. A ray has one end point and extends in one direction. A ray is basically a part of a straight line which has one fixed point and extends in one direction. So this is one ray. Let us take another ray. These two rays have a common endpoint. So when two rays have a common endpoint, we say an angle is formed. Let us label the common endpoint as O. This common endpoint is called the vertex. Let us take 2 points on the two arms of the ray. These are called the arms of the ray. Arms. Okay. So now, how do we represent these angles? There are 3 ways of writing this angle. We can simply write it as angle O. That's one way. Or you can write it as angle AOB. Or you can write it as angle BOA. Do you observe something? Wherever you're using 3 letters, the common vertex is always the middle letter. So there are 3 ways of representing an angle. Now let us see what are the different types of angles. There are different types of angles. Number 1, if the angle is 90 degrees, it is called a right angle. Let's label this vertex as O. So if the angle is 90 degrees, so if x is equal to 90 degrees, it is called a right angle. Right angle. Can you also observe a right angle is always represented or shown with a small box at the vertex. It indicates that it's a 90-degree angle. Okay, that's one. Another one, different type of an angle, is if the angle is less than 90 degrees, it is called an acute angle. So if the angle x is less than 90 degrees, obviously it will be greater than 0. So this is called an acute angle. So any angle that is less than 90 degrees, but obviously greater than 0 degrees, it is called an acute angle. Great. Now, any angle that is greater than 90 degrees, for example, let's look at this. This is the vertex O. An angle that is greater than 90 degrees, but of course less than 180 degrees. An angle which is between 90 and 180. It is called obtuse angle. Obtuse angle. And an angle that is when 2 rays point in the opposite direction, the angle formed is called a straight angle. This is equal to 180 degrees. It's called a straight angle. Understand these? Right angle equal to 90 degrees, acute angle between 0 to 90 degrees, obtuse angle above 90 and less than 180, straight angle. Now let us see further what are the properties of angles. Let us understand what are adjacent angles. So let's take an angle with the vertex O. Is this an angle X? Okay. Can we draw another arm and label this angle as Y? Let us choose some points on each arm. Let this be A, B, and C. Now, do you observe that both angles X and Y have a common arm C, and the other two arms are on either side of the common arm? Can you observe that? Then we say that angles X and Y are adjacent angles. So adjacent angles have a common arm between them and a common vertex, and the other two arms are always on either side of the common arm. So X and Y are adjacent angles. So you also observe that angle AOC, which is angle Y, plus angle BOC, which is angle X, is equal to, can you observe, it's equal to AOB, the big angle here. So equal to angle AOB. So adjacent angles, you understand now, they have a common arm and a common vertex, and the two arms are on either side of the common arm. So these are called adjacent angles. Let us now understand what do we mean by linear pair of angles. Let's first draw an angle. You have one ray on this side and you have another opposite, a ray facing in the opposite direction. What type of an angle is this? Can you tell me? It is a straight angle, isn't it? We learned, and a straight angle is equal to 90 degrees. Okay. If I draw another arm over here, I label this angle as X and this angle as Y. Is X and Y adjacent angles? Yes, of course, because they have a common arm, remember the definition, and the common vertex, and the other two arms are on either side of the angle. Fine. So X and Y are adjacent angles. But now, since this is a straight line and this full angle is 180 degrees, can I say X plus Y is equal to 180 degrees? So when two angles, when the adjacent angles are equal to 180 degrees, we say that X and Y are linear pair of angles. Understand that? If we label the points as A, B, and C, and if you have to represent them with letters, angle AOC, which is Y, plus angle BOC, which is X, will be equal to what? Angle AOB, and that happens to be how much? 180 degrees. So adjacent angles on a straight line are called linear pair of angles, and they add up to 180 degrees. So you understand what linear pair of angles are. Now let's move on and further understand the properties of angles. Let's understand what are called complementary angles. Do you know what is a right angle? Yes, we know what is it. A 90-degree angle is called a right angle, isn't it? Let's draw an arm over here. Let us assume this angle is 40 degrees. So how much will this angle be? It will be 50 degrees. So when the sum of two angles add up to 90 degrees, we say that the two angles are called complementary angles. Get it? They are called complementary angles. When the sum of two angles add up to 180 degrees, they are called complementary angles. Understand that? Okay. So now a quick quiz. If one angle is 30 degrees, what is the complementary angle of 30 degrees? It will be 60 degrees because you add them up and it becomes 90 degrees. Understand that? Another quiz. What is the complementary angle of 25 degrees? What is the complementary angle of 25 degrees? Can you tell me? It will be 65 degrees because when you add up 25 and 65, it's going to be 90 degrees. Understand what complementary angles are? Great. Now let's further understand what are supplementary angles. Let's understand what are supplementary angles. We already know what is a straight angle, isn't it? So we have one arm on this side and we have another arm on this side. So this angle total is 180 degrees. We know already. Now let's take an arm over here. Let's label this angle as X and this as Y. Now can you tell me what is angle X plus Y is equal to? It is equal to 180 degrees. Good. When the sum of two angles is equal to 180 degrees, we say that these two angles are called supplementary angles. Understand? As simple as that. So let's quickly do one quiz. If one angle is 50 degrees, what is the supplementary angle of this 50 degrees? It will be what? 130 degrees, because if you add them up, it's going to be 180 degrees. Understand? Good. Next quiz. If one angle is 120 degrees, what is the supplementary angle of 120 degrees? It's going to be 60 degrees. Good. You're like getting smart. So supplementary angles are two angles whose sum is 180 degrees. Correct? Now let's move on and understand further about angles. Let's understand what are vertically opposite angles. In order to do that, let's draw two straight lines. Let this be one straight line and this be another straight line intersecting at a common point O. So when two straight lines intersect at a common point, vertically opposite angles are formed. This and this angle are vertically opposite to each other, and this and this angle are vertically opposite to each other. So let us label them as X and Y and A and B. So the properties of the vertically opposite angles are vertically opposite angles are always equal. So x will be equal to y and a will be equal to b. Understand that? So vertically opposite angles are always equal. So let's have a quick quiz now based on this. Suppose let's take you have two straight lines intersecting. If this is 50 degrees, can you tell me what is the value of B? The measure of angle B will also be 50 degrees. Good. Okay. If this is 50 degrees, can you tell me what will angle Y be? Remember, is this a straight line? And on a straight line is y plus 50 degrees. How much is it? It's 180, isn't it? So y plus 50 degrees is how much? 180 degrees. So y is equal to 180 minus 50. Y will be equal to 130 degrees, isn't it? So if y is 130 degrees, can you tell me how much is the angle x? Angle x will also be 130 degrees. Why? Because x and y are vertically opposite angles. And we know that the vertically opposite angles are equal. Got the point? Understood what vertically opposite angles are? Let's do one problem. Let's try to do this. Find the value of x for these two intersecting lines. Okay, what can we say about this angle and this angle? They are vertically opposite angles, isn't it? And now, what can we say about vertically opposite angles? They are equal. So can I say x plus 30 is equal to 50? And x will be equal to 50 minus 30. So the value of x is 20. Remember, x is not 20 degrees. X is not an angle. X is a variable over here. So the value of x is 20. Understand how you work out and apply the concepts in solving problems? Of course, you need to practice more, and practice makes you better. I hope you have understood the concepts in this lesson, and do practice and share this video with all. Thank you for watching my video. My name is Askar Khan, and if you're looking for math classes, you can WhatsApp me on the number given on the screen. Also, the number is mentioned in the description below. So do share this video and practice. Thank you.